we're a restaurant development company, and I'm going to talk about restaurant development. No, I'm good. That's all I need. That's all good. So I've worked two sides of the fence. I used to work for a large hotel lodging company as a vice president, and we used to see a lot of consultancy proposals come through, and these were, big numbers, big figures. And I used to look at these sometimes and go, what am I getting for my money? I'm getting a great presentation, I'm getting maybe some back and forth collaboration, but at the end of the day, they're kicking this over the fence to me, and I've got to deal with it. Flip to now. I run my own consultancy business, and I find that I'm competing with a lot of very different companies, and they all have something special to offer, and believe you me, it's very competitive. I'm sure there's a lot of consultants here in the room. What I'm about to talk about is something a little bit disruptive, but really that's what change is all about, is doing something different. So we sat around the table and we decided that we were going to approach putting quotations together very differently. At the end of the day, what you're looking for as a client is you want stake in the game. You want the consultant to take real ownership of the work you're asking them to do and how they're going to do it. So long story short really is, what we've done is that we do not charge you a fee for the work with a flat number. We charge you for the results. So how that works basically is, yes, there is a bit of a startup money. Everyone needs a bit of key money to get going. But after that is that we'll develop whatever it may be, a concept or turning a restaurant around, and then we'll turn around to you and say that we'll take a percentage of the sales once that business starts moving forward. I'll take it a step further. In 3 of the projects that we've got going, and not all of them, but 3 of them, we've actually negotiated where we will not take that fee until you make your budget. Once you make your budget, we'll take a percentage of everything over that. We're that confident in getting you to where you need to be. And so, of course, that's working really well for us in theory, but there's a lot of holes in that. For example, you all know developing a concept, getting it built, getting it opened is not something that happens overnight. So what are we doing in the background? We've got no funds coming in. So first thing is to make sure that we're staggering a few different projects along the way. The second thing is basically to make sure that we are kind of getting that key money up front, but then also kind of working with the owners so that they know that we're there till the end. So the idea is that I've lost myself a little bit. The idea is that we get money coming in on a regular basis. And when that money comes in, then we've got something that we can pay our wages with. And so if that project doesn't open for 12 months, what do? We do have a clause in there that says that if you don't open within X amount of time, then you will pay a fixed fee and we'll walk away. So there's lots of different elements within this program that need looking at. But we do believe we're a restaurant consultancy firm, but it could work for branding, it could work for interior design. If you really want to put your kind of product forward and put your name forward with that product, getting paid for the success of the business you're consulting to is really kind of the future of the future of the company and how we're going to move forward.
I'm happy to get started, Chris.
Yeah.
I love the concept of consultants putting their skin in the game.
Yep.
My own consulting practice, I've acquired minority stakes in clients I've consulted for. I've lost tons of money. Yep. But built a lot of goodwill and respect over the years. Here's a question for you. When you leave the project, there is the danger that you and your team have created this knowledge in fixing things, but then you depart with it.
No.
So how do you...
It's really important. And this is why it doesn't work in every situation. We've approached people with this, and then they say, look, this is not going to work for you. You've got to have the right team on the ground. That's not our team. That's the team that we're training and the team that we're working with. And that can be owners, can be restaurant operators, and it also can be other third parties. We need to make sure that everyone is in that game. And so a strong part of it is our company has a full-time trainer to make sure that we're training those people to get that through. So the journey starts with the concept, then it's the interior design. So we'll work with the interior designers to make sure that they're pulling that through. And then we start them working with the hotel or the restaurant itself, training those people. And then we stay on, of course, because that's when our payment comes, for the next 12 months, making sure. And we're there all the time. So we've got 3 of these models working right now, and then myself or one of my team members is at that restaurant for half a day every week to making sure that we pull it through.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I think it's an intriguing model, and I'm curious, why has no one else done this before?
I don't know. I'm lucky. I think we came up with it and we talked about it. And I swear I got it from when I used to work for the hotel lodging company. You get these numbers in and you get a great presentation and you would go back and forth with them. But then I've got to bring that to life and I've got to understand that all. So if I've got kind of like skin in the game, I'm there the whole time to go back to you. I'd love those consultants who worked for me in those days to be standing beside me 8 months after the project was to be able to ask those questions.
So does it make a big difference, the dynamic and the collaborative element in terms of how you work with your clients?
Well, word of mouth is the best thing. When we started doing this, the next thing, next company was saying, oh yeah, we want that. It's kind of, yeah, you mean you're saying that with very little money up front, we're going to get your services? And flipping restaurants which are actually operating already but not operating to capacity is a great model because we look at your budget and go, okay, we believe with our services we can get you to X, but that's okay. If we don't get you there, you don't pay us. So.
Fantastic. Yeah, please.
Through the project with the owners,
Yeah.
do you find yourselves changing things as you go along?
Yeah.
So what
That's I think it's part of innovation.
Yes.
I mean, especially in a project that maybe goes from concept all the way through to opening. That could be a 12-month project. Yes, we do. Markets change, people change, and so we often change things as we go. But because we're there, we can do that. If we weren't there, if we'd just given it to the client and walked away, we couldn't do that. We'd say, hang on a second, maybe 18 months ago when we developed that, it wasn't quite right, things have changed, let's tweak that for you. So yes, change is part of innovation. We love that part.
Another question at the back.
Now, good question, because to be honest with you, I have a bit reluctant to venture out of UAE with this, simply because we want to have personal engagement with the properties, which means we need to be there. And I can't get on a plane every week and fly to Saudi. It's not a profitable business model. So yes, to be fair, where we've got this in play is in with Dubai or Abu Dhabi already, which is okay, because we're there, my team or myself is there once a week. It's a commitment. We've got, high-end, we've got, I don't want to talk about the actual contracts, but we've got, yes, we've got some luxury, we've got a couple of high-end ones in luxury hotels, but we do have one middle road. I don't believe in high-end, very expensive restaurants. Even when we take them on, most times when we look at these restaurants, they're pricing over their weight anyway. So we bring those prices down. So it's middle, I would say middle range, but there is one which is in the Ritz-Carlton, which is quite high.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you very much. Yeah.